All right, this is the Pink Girly channel. Getting ready to do a live stream. Getting my phone set up here. See if anybody's around to join me. If you're watching on the replay, I'm going to talk about a few things at first and then get to the title of my stream, which is hashtag time for art, paper dolls with a twist. So I'm just going to look at my settings here. I have a little bit of a glare, but I'm hoping once I get going here, that's going to not be so much of an issue. I'm trying to see if I like working on these craft mats, and then I have the glass craft mat underneath, but when you're recording, you really do get a bit of a glare. I'm just thinking, what do I have that I could put underneath me that I don't care if it gets ruined? I don't think I have too much that I'm going to do today that would ruin it. No. Just going to get started here. I realize Saturday mornings are busy for folks, but there's nobody on live, and I might see if this might be a spot that can work for me on a regular basis if my husband and I don't have any plans. There we go. There's a little Deborah. Good morning, Deborah. How are you? Southern crafty lady. I'm just trying to get set up here to see if anybody's going to pop in. I'm very thankful I can see the chat on my screen today. Sometimes it doesn't pop up. So I'm just going to get started, and hopefully some folks will filter in. And I just wanted to start by saying, for many of you that are either going to be here live today or watching the replay, are familiar with the Mariotier, a channel that some of us, probably quite a few of us, follow. And Friday, August 13th, will be our live Friday hop. And our theme for August is dolls. And Murray, the host of that channel, has given us an opportunity to record either standalones or do lives associated with the topic of dolls. And then she's got them listed on her playlist. So I've been knocking around a few ideas. I did a couple of lives that are posted there. The second one, I did this, what I'm calling art doll. So he's not really too great. I have to, I promised I would post a picture of him finished. So I've altered my pattern, of which I think will work better. And I'm going to have this project done in segments to then share at the hop on Friday. Now, I was inspired to do this doll by a gal called Karen O'Brien, and her book is Imaginary Characters. And I have a live video posted for that. And she does a much smaller doll. So I tried that too. But these, I think I'm not a very good stuffer, first of all. And I'm really not a sewer. So these guys look a little rough. Of course, they're not finished. I think they'll look better once they get, decorated up and stuff. See, like this little guy's going to get that little collar bib thing. This one I just pinned. This is the same fabric as this large one, but it really frays. So I stitched around to try to avoid that. And I'm going to whip stitch the outside like I did this large one. But these are really, really small. And see, it's shaped a little funky. This one I used some Inktense watercolors and colored the fabric and then stamped on it. But I did the original face the same way that Karen does. And of course, this is still left open here because I think I still have to stuff a little more. So that's where I am with that. Thanks, Deborah. I'm not too, I like the faces, but I'm not too thrilled with how my bodies have turned out. So I think the next one, it's not going to be quite as big as this guy. But by the time I get a few other things on there, something around the neck, you know, they may look okay. I might put little ponytails on some of these too. I think my face is a little large for the size doll that this actually turned out to be. So, like I said, I've adjusted a few things. So there's that. So I've got several things in progress. Now, I was hoping a few more would pop in till I get started, but I might just have to repeat because I don't want to just sit here twiddling my thumbs. Quite a while ago, I purchased this item because I absolutely loved it. And I've had this idea in my head for quite some time. I'm waiting for the right time to share it online. And then Mary came up with the doll theme for our August hop. And so this, I think, is the right time to share this and to do something with it. These are paper dolls. And the twist is they're not paper. It's fabric. Now somewhere I have one that I worked on, but I can't find her. I stuffed her a little too much for my idea, so I'm going to my second round. But these are, to me, now, like I've said in my other videos, I'm really not a doll person. But these little dolls are adorable to me. They're just absolutely adorable. So you get fabric. Well, if you purchase it, you get fabric that has the dolls and then fabric that has the clothes. Now, the people that I purchased from said that this is a retro fabric and that it's hard to come by. So who knows if that's true or not. I have looked to see if I could find others available. I haven't been able to find any more. And I did just purchase dolls that I think are similar. I don't know that they're exactly like this, but the clothing is Christmas garb. So I have two pieces, I think a half yard of each of that coming, but it's coming from Canada and there's no tracking. So I'm just praying that it gets here. And it should have arrived, first estimation, I should have had it on the 5th. Today's the 7th. Maybe, maybe it'll come in today's mail. I don't know. I just didn't want to wait any longer to do this video. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to show you the little faces, and then I'm going to choose one and tell you what my idea is for this doll. Certainly you could cut them out, stuff them, and make a doll. But my idea is to use the doll, as a cover on a journal. So I'm going to see how that goes. So we've got this cute little gal here with a little bob kind of a cut. This one here looks like a Campbell's Soup kid to me. Can you see them? Let me bring it up a little closer. Can you see the little faces? How cute is that face? Then we have this one. This one's a little side shot of that one. I might have to sketch some of these in my sketchbook. I know, right? When I saw this, it's like, I don't know. My heart dropped to my stomach and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to have that. She's a repeat. Oh, we've got this little girl down here now. I've got to decide on some of these. They're missing the bottom of their legs. So, what I might do with those. Now, let me open this up. Here's this little gal. Look at her little ringlets. Hey, Sherry. Oh my gosh, Sherry, you were so right. They're just so adorable. And then we've got this little gal with the bob, but this is a side view. Let me see if there's other different ones here. She's the same. Oh, here's this one with the little headband. Oh, look, here's one with the little bow in her hair. Don't you like their little undergotchies? Look how cute. And they got the head. Oh, this one's got the headband. I think we might have seen her before. Oh, here's a little brunette with a bob. Oh, and this one's, the bob's just got a little flip. So I've got those dolls, and then you get clothing on the companion fabric, I guess you would say. Now, some of these are upside down, so I'm just going to show you. See, you get shoes and socks, little dresses, little headband things. That little dress. Look, this one she's holding a little kitty. Look at this hat. This one she's got an umbrella and a rabbit. Look. Am I too close? Look at these little striped socks and shoes. And then I've got a ton of them over on this side. Look at this. Look how cute that one is. Oh, this one here, she's got a baby doll. So my ideal is to put one on the cover of a book. I don't want her to be totally flat. Where's the one where she's holding the baby doll? Oh, here it is. Oh, there's two. Look at this one. The doll is holding the doll. And here's another one with a little baby doll. It's going to be so hard to choose. And I wish I was more of a fabric person to really know what to do. But what I'm thinking is if I just puff her up a little bit, I have my sewing machine right next to me because I want to be able to stitch this down. Now I pulled out some I wish I understood what that was, Sherry. So I'm thinking I'm going to puff her up, stitch her down, and then I was thinking I could use Velcro, put little pieces of Velcro, and then she could have a dress for the front, and on the inside of the journal, I could have pockets to store additional outfits. That's just an idea. I don't know if that idea is going to float and work. Now, my first attempt, and I don't know where I put her, and I didn't take time this morning to dig her out. I stitched her by hand. I stitched one of them by hand on a piece of fabric and then just used a fiber fill and stuffed her, and she's a little too puffy. So I'll probably undo that. So this time I pulled out a nice piece of, I I guess it's felt, like a heavier felt, or it's not fleece. Yeah, I guess what I have is a little batting, and I'm going to use that and a piece of muslin on the back side, kind of make a sandwich, and then stitch around her and start there. So I don't know where this stream is going to go. So if you've got some time to hang out with me, that would be great. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. So I have to pick out the doll. So let me start there. What doll do I want to do? I think it would be easier for me to pick a doll that is facing forward. And I'm just going to do a rough cut to cut one out. Let's see. Oh, she's adorable. She doesn't have her arms out. Oops. Every time I hit my mouse, I lose my picture on my computer. Yeah, I think what I have is felt. I have some really nice batting. I saw really cute dolls years and years and years ago at a show. At, gosh, it might have been a scrapbook show. I'm not sure. And I have directions somewhere to make these dolls. Bought all the stuff, and you know how that goes. Never made it. All right, so I'm trying to decide between this little gal and this little gal because they face forward. I wonder if I have one near the edge that faces forward that'd be easier to cut out instead of digging. Oh, here's one. Oh, she's really close to the edge. I wonder if I can make her work. She's right on the edge of the, This one's right on the edge, and she's right on the selvage. I wonder if I can make that one work. If I come in close and try to stitch around her. I'm not a very gifted stitcher, you see. All right, let me grab my fabric scissors. So I'm gonna just cut her out, try to be mindful of what else is around her. After having this fabric sit for so long, it's a little nerve-wracking to cut her out. All right, so let's put the rest of these girls aside. Now this is what I'm planning to use. This is just a real nice fuzzy felt kind of fabric. Oh, look, it's a big pillowcase. Ooh, that might be nice to sleep on. So I'm thinking if I just pinned her on here and trimmed her out, then I could cut it, right? And then I'm thinking about putting another piece of muslin on the back, so then I would have plenty of surface to either sew her down or glue her. I'm thinking I want to glue her down onto the book cover. I don't want her to be totally flat. Of course, I could always do more layers if I just cut her out this way. Now, what did I do with there they are, straight pins. So is anybody here like a real avid sewer, like Aunt Beck? Hi, Rain. Me too, Rain. I hear you. I'm a sucker for it all. I'm trying to figure out, I have to ask a friend. I thought I had it figured out. You know, when you go into like a vintage type gift shop where you can buy finished things, they always have those they're muslin. They're just like muslin shapes. I mean, they could be dolls, they could be a duck, it could be a flower, it could be a piece of watermelon, and they've painted on the muslin and they stuff it. There's somehow they stuff it and then they wet it or something, and then it shrinks down and it tightens up around the. I got to figure out how to do that. I want to make some of those so badly, but I don't know what it's called. I don't even have something to show you. But my one friend, Lorraine, who's really an amazing painter who does a lot of vintage funky stuff. She makes that stuff. I have to ask her what it's called. Okay, so I'm going to give that a rough trim, I think, as well. I'm hoping that my fabric scissors aren't too worn out to cut through this. I picked up this pillowcase, I think at Goodwill, thinking that I could use it for trim on a Santa hat, you know, on one of my light bulbs. Oh, I cut that kind of close. And I was thinking if I get her stitched down and to put her on a book, like say if I use this for the book cover, I might like to coffee dye this though. This might be a little too bright. Yeah, I think I need to find something else. But I think I do want a piece of muslin on the back of her. Because I think it will be easier to attach her. This is just another piece of old vintage pillowcase. So it's like a linen. It's not really a muslin, I'm guessing. Of course, I'm being very stingy here, trying to not have too much waste. It's probably not a good way to pin it. So I probably should put the pinpoint towards out where I'm going to be stitching. I'm just going to use a neutral thread. Hopefully I have a bobbin with some neutral thread. Now, what do you think? Do you think I should try to stitch as close to her as possible or try to stitch with like a little 1/8 of an inch around her? Any suggestions? If I stitch closer to her, and then trim it, I'll get most of this salvaged edge. That's something to consider, right? I should have probably put up a warning that I was streaming. I never remember to do that. Now, see, this is getting a little bumpy. A little bumpy. Maybe I should. Thanks, Deborah. Lots of help. just teasing. I don't know either. I have a couple of really big pins here. Sherry probably knows. Now, I don't have my camera over my, although I could probably lift my sewing machine over on underneath my camera. It can't be that heavy. It's sitting right here. Of course, I'll have to deal with the sewing machine noise. All right, I'm going to trim this just so I don't have a lot of extra fabric to deal with. And I think that'll just give me enough puff, really. All right, so I have to pick out some thread. I got a really cute thread set at Aldi's, but let's face it, it's not quality stuff. So for this, I'm gonna see if I have something in our sewing box that the threads a stronger count and a little nicer. And I want to try to do something neutral. Don't knock over your drink. I don't think that's enough. By neutral, I was hoping like an off-colored, like a cream. Here's the bobbin. There's not enough of that. I don't know if you guys have purchased thread lately, but thread is not cheap. Not cheap at all. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll go with the gold. How big can gold look? But my underneath bobbin is not going to be, because I'm not going to sit here and spin a bobbin. I don't have a gold bobbin. I've got yellow. And I've got, yeah, I'm going to try the yellow. Worst case scenario, I pull it out, right? I got a seam ripper. I've got a seam ripper. I have the worst chair. I keep falling out of it. I keep slipping forward. What is that about? Jeez. I'm like a kid. I need a seatbelt. All right, let's see if I can do this. This is really going outside the box here. Let me see. Now I'm going to try not to hit my camera. Ugh. This is a regular, big, heavy-duty, old Sears Kenmore sew machine. Oh. Let me see if I can pull my camera up. Up. Get rid of that. You're not going to be able to see, I don't think, regardless. I don't know if I put the camera. Oh, I don't want to make you dizzy. I'm so dizzy. Hey, how do those girls do that? Where you can see where they're stitching. You can just see. Let's see if I bring it in this way. Oh, there, girls. How's that? You can see a little bit. Well, I thought I would order a chair online. It looked really great. It said all the things I wanted it to, to do. And oh my gosh, my husband had a heck of a time getting it together. Finally got it together, and there was the thing I didn't think to look for was if you could adjust it up and down. Well, it was too low for my desk. And I had, my desk was at my chin. And there was no, then we had to get it apart. Yeah. My husband's a very patient man. But he said to me, please don't order anything like this online again. Yeah, he's so good to me. Okay, now let's see. What if I put my little, well, once I get the fabric on, that might not be too bad. I think I'm going to need that little light for myself to be able to see what I'm stitching. Yeah, this one's awful. Of course, this was, a hand-me-down from somebody's office. They were getting rid of it. I spend a lot of time in this chair, so I'm thinking I should probably invest some time and money to go find one that is better for me. But that would require me, to leave my art room. All right, I'm going to thread up this little baby. I have to say I am a little nervous about stitching this little girl, but I can always take the stitches out, right? So I'm just going to try to calm myself down. All right, so I think I'm going to do that. Just a regular stitch. I think I might have to have a little sip of my beverage. Yeah, my old one went to the trash, which my old one wasn't that much better, I gotta say. I haven't bought myself a chair. These are all, what I have is all hand-me-down stuff. All right, girls, I had to take a little sipper. Sip, sip, sip. All right, now to thread the needle with my old eyes. That's one thing I noticed about the cheaper thread. Oh my gosh, it doesn't have any body, and trying to get it through that needle, oh boy. Tests your patience for sure. All righty. Okay. Now, I don't have the ability to mute my background noise. I think there's a way to do that, but I don't have that ability. So, perhaps I should just, well, it's going to be hard for me to reach that now with the sewing machine in there. This is probably going to be really noisy for you because I have my, let me see if I can do it with the mouse. I'm going to try to mute my sound. I don't think you'll be able to hear me. I think you won't be able to hear anything, me or the machine. So I'm just going to go ahead and zip around this. It should take me just a couple of minutes, barring no Yeah, yeah, it is hard to see that sewing machine needle. All right, so I'm going to try to stitch around here, and then you won't hear any screams too if I do something wrong. So I'm going to mute for a bit. Yeah, I'm going to mute, stitch this around, and then I'll be back. Oh my gosh. Did I have the sound on the whole time? I thought I just clicked it. Now it looks like I don't know what I did. Anyway, I stitched her. Oh. I moved my sewing machine back. I've got my cell phone stuck in a jar here. This is high-tech stuff here, girls. High-tech. All right. There she is. And I think I'm fairly pleased with that. I'll have a surprise when I go back and watch the replay. Let's see. Okay. Bring us down a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. Let me know if you see okay there. All right, so I'm going to snip off my threads and take out my pins. I was? Oh, thanks, Deborah. Whew. I wasn't swearing or anything, but I didn't want you to have to hear that in the sewing machine. Okay, so she's just slightly puffed, which is what I wanted. All right. Now, what I'm thinking is I need probably, so I don't have much room over here to work with, right? In hindsight, I probably should have picked black because it would look like an outline. And this, you can see maybe a little bit of the black that has come through. So not too bad. So now I'm thinking, which I should have thought, thanks girls. What I should have thought about, around her. And like I said, this girl was close to the salvage. I could have cut out another one, but see, I'm basically a stingy person when it comes to my supplies and using them or not using them. I'm not stingy as far as, giving people stuff and that kind of stingy, but initially I was thinking some kind of lace around the doll to then put on a piece of fabric to cover the book, which I have not decided on the fabric. I probably should have decided that. And I just grabbed a book that I think, because she's, I think she's 8 or 9 inches, maybe. Well, maybe she's 7. Let's give her a measure. Because I was trying to find a book that I've gutted that would work for her. Let's see how big she is. Measure the top of her a little. 7.5. So if I put her on a book like that, man, I've got a lot of real estate around her, which I'm not sure I want to deal with a lot of real estate that way. What if I use something like, let's see, what else do I have here handy, size-wise? See, I've got all these ideas for streams and lives, and I've got every little piles of stuff everywhere because, oh yeah, I'm going to get to that. Oh yeah, I'm going to get to that. Yeah. Sure you are. Let's see, this book cover might work. That size might work, right? So now the question is, hey, Jean Gibson, girlfriend, how are you? Oh, thanks for saying hi, Jean. Yeah, I know it's early where you are. All right, so let's see. Sorry, your mouth gets dry with all the chatting. The easiest thing would be to perhaps put a piece of lace and just do a rectangle for the center of the book.
Right.
Initially, I was thinking about an oval, but I don't have enough over here to do an oval. I don't want to trim her out totally because, now see, I do have the salvaged edge there, but I don't know if I'm going to let that bother me, to be quite honest with you, because I really kind of like that. I just cut out one of my other dolls, and it's a gold fabric. I think it was a curtain, gold fabric, and it's got the salvaged edge that's white, and I kind of really like that on that piece. So let me see. I know I have some lace up here. Now this is not. I've got a couple options, don't I? Let's see here. I've got some eyelet that's very wide. Which I could gather. So I could either sew it on straight like that all around her, or I could try to gather this. I don't think this would, excuse me, would gather real well because it's kind of stiff. So I'm not thinking that's going to work. This one is like double-sided. So I could really trim that. I could really cut that in half. But of course, this is real white. But I could throw that in a little bit of a coffee bath and dry it. I think whatever I do, I might have to. Yeah, I think so too, Deb. I like the salvage edge. And I save all those, like if I cut fabric, and you know how it's got the numbers on the end, to tell you. I don't know what it's supposed to tell you, but tell somebody something. I like all that. I save all those bits, and I use them in clusters and stuff like that. This is a little more narrow, of course. But see, I really could put a little ribbon. If I put ribbon through that. All right, so anybody have any opinions of this? I also have, let me get this out. I got a bunch. This is really wide too, but I know I could cut this. Let me get out my. Let's get everything out. Where's Eileen? She would love it. I'm getting everything out, Eileen. Oh yeah, I've got some of that thinner stuff. Let's see here. Oh boy. It's wonderful having all these choices, but it's also a struggle then trying to decide what would work and what you should use. This, I think, is too glitzy. and would be too stiff to get that to work. This is really wide. That's off-white. That would look nice. I've got a ton of this stuff. Some of that might work. And that's not what I was thinking of, though. Where's the... probably have that in a different box. Like that. Let's take a look at that. I don't know if I have enough of that anymore. No, I'm not finding the one I have in my mind. But that's, you know, not unusual. That might be enough choices here. I definitely don't want white. All right, so I have this. I got this at a local yard sale here. Oh, I kind of like that. See, I would have to like sew it this way, or maybe cut it so I have a nice, well, it wouldn't be nice then if I cut it. If I sew it on that way. Do you think that one's too much with the green threads? Now keep in mind this book probably, well, it could stay green if I use this. That would be a lot less labor intensive. And I would move this out as close. Hey CB, I would move this out as close as I could. Like I would stitch it on this way, maybe. No, that probably wouldn't work. I'd probably have to stitch it this way. So that's option one. And I have some of this old stuff. This is kind of cool stuff. That kind of looks like a washi tape type of a look. That's not too bad either. All right, so we got the Holy Flower. We've got the green one, the Holy Flower. And then I've got all this stuff. This isn't vintage stuff. This is just cotton lace that I liked. So I got it. Let's just see if I went real little. Oh boy, I like that too. Yeah, that hint of green is nice. What do you think about that one though? But see, then if this one, if I use something smaller like this from the side, let's be real, you're going to see that sandwichy, you know, fabrics. I got to take that into consideration, Laurabelle. Yep. I think the green might be the winner. Of course, I am so fond of green. Yeah. think I'm going to go green. So now the question is, I've got to find some, well, I might have to use that cheaper thread to stitch that around. And then I have to gut this book. Yeah, I like layers too, but I don't know if I want to see it, you know, when I pick up the side of my book, if I want to see those kind of layers. My gosh, girls, I'm so thirsty. Please forgive me. I'm afraid you hear my gulping. So if I did that, I could leave the book green. Now, this is a gardening book. I would take out the pages, of course, and build my own pages. I could always do something down the spine. But basically leave this. It's kind of, you know, this one's kind of, I have 3 of these. Don't, you know, like, don't even ask me. I'm a struggle. All right, so now the question is, at least in my mind, do I cut it or do I do my corners? Like that, or do I do my corners like that? I guess you can, boy, that's really going to be tight, Lori. Well, her dress is going to be freestanding with a little Velcro, so she's not in her underwears on the front of the book, right? Maybe if I, yeah, I think so too, Kara. Because if I cut it, then see, it's going to be jaggedy like that. I'm not sure that I'm going to like that. You know, Sherry, that's a good thought. I was thinking sewing. But gluing is not a bad idea. Now, I have buttons here just to see. These aren't the right color. I wouldn't use this color, I don't believe. But if I did the corners, and I could put a button, maybe not on every corner, but let's just see. See, this is why it takes you so long to get something done. My husband will say, well, what takes you so long? I'm like, well, until you do the first one and get your ideas all mapped out, you know, it takes you a little while. That I think it just that way, it's just going to be a little too thick. Oh, I'm going to get to look through my buttons. All right, so that's going to be my plan. I'm going to stitch this on, and then I'm going to put buttons or some kind of little embellishments. Maybe not on every corner, but at least on a couple of the corners. We'll see how they work out. I don't think I'm going to stitch that while you're here to make you wait. Right. And sometimes, you'll get other ideas and then, something will work better. And I might look up, roughly corners. So that's going to be the front. And I really am thinking I'm going to leave this book green because I really like it. But maybe I'll look through my stash and come up with some kind of an idea. A nice piece of yes, our art gang really does help with ideas and how to work some things out for sure. A nice piece of maybe upholstery or tapestry glued to the back, might be nice. All right, so now, so I'm going to put that aside. So I'm going to use that. This is very exciting. I really have had this fabric, I think close to a year. I think I bought this maybe like last summer. Okay, now let's see what we're going to have as a dress for this little gal. Now she's facing forward, so I want a forward-facing outfit, I believe. Now my other question for anyone here who's sewing or used to fabric, this is just like cotton. So I'm thinking if I trim it, I could probably just paint a very little bit of golden matte medium on the edge so it wouldn't fray. What do you think about that? I don't think I want to stitch because I think that would make me crazy. Okay, so we've got this one here with the little where she's holding the little doll. Gosh, that's so cute. Look at this one. This one's roughly. And the color's kind of blah, though, right? Ooh, look at this one. Oh, I like the green one too. Oh. Well, the green would go with the the green would go with the cover. Look at this green one. Look how cute that is, girls. Look, that's cute. I love this hat too. Look at that hat. Now this has green in it. Did I already show you this one? I don't think so. This one's... Now, of course, I'm talking about this, looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, she's kind of a side view on that one. I'm thinking, where did I put my Velcro? Where did I put my Velcro? Might be in my sewing bin. Or look at this one. Oh, how am I going to decide? Look at that. All right, I'm going to go with that one. Let me trim that out and see what it looks like here. Oh, look at these shoes. So how are her legs? Oh, her legs are straight. I don't think these will work for her. All right, let me see. I don't want to cut anything that I don't intend to cut. Look at that little thing. Now, of course, she was going to have little spots of Velcro on her, but the fabric is so light, I'm not going to need big pieces. I guess I should have asked you guys if you thought this was a dumb idea. Oops. Oh, well. Now look at this little headpiece. Now, I don't have too much in the way of doll stuff to put inside the journal, so that would be another thing. Well, that might be an idea. I need something different for her feet. Let's see what I have for feet. I don't think this will work because, yeah, her feet are straight down. Oh, these are orange and gold. These might work. Let's cut these out. Now, let me ask you this. Let me get your opinion on this. Because in all likelihood, if I get this finished, I will sell this journal. Yes, Rain. You didn't have to buy them together. You could buy the piece of fabric with just the dolls, or you could then buy an additional purchase. At least at least when I was looking for it, that's how most folks had it listed. So if you were in the market for a journal like this, and you really love dolls, I guess you would want the inside of the journal to be heavy with doll stuff, correct? Or just blanks. I have little tiny fabric scissors, but they're in the other room. Okay, so I'm going to use Velcro and not the tabs, of course, because the doll's going to be stuck to the book. So I'm going to cut the doll tabs off. And if anyone is just joining us on the replay of this live stream, these are paper dolls, but they're fabric. They're paper doll images. They told me they were retro. They look retro, but I don't know when the fabric was designed. I wonder if it says on the edge. I wonder if it does say on the edge. Let me see. Maybe on the doll piece. Oh, wait a minute. What's this say? Yeah, it just says Windham Fabrics presents Paper Dolls by Cheryl Ray Marquez. It doesn't say a year. Now, of course, you could just, sorry, I don't talk much when I fussy cut. You can make regular dolls out of these, I'm sure, just put two pieces together, or not two pieces. I wouldn't waste the doll on the back myself. Well, there is no back doll. They're all fronts. I didn't see any backs. I would cut out a matching, shape it, just trace it and shape it on a piece of muslin or some other nice heavy duty material, fabric, and then stitch her, turn her inside out and stuff her. But there again, oh my gosh, girls, look how cute that is. Can you see it? Got a little bit of a shadow, I guess, going. Look. There she is. Darling, right? But there again, if you stuffed her and made a regular doll, the tabs wouldn't work. Oh, that's a good idea, Sherry. Thanks. That's a great idea. Yeah. Because I don't have a lot of doll stuff. Now, the fabric doesn't look like it's going to fray too badly, or if at all, but I'm sure it would over time. So my thought is if I want to sell it, I don't want the customer to deal with, a product that's not going to hold up. I'm just wondering, I could do a test. I'm just wondering if I paint a little of the matte medium on the edges, would I see a line? Of course, if I paint the whole thing with matte medium, then it's not going to be flexible. So that's the other thing to consider. I don't want it to be, flat as a board, laying on the front of the book. I also thought I could maybe make photocopies and do like sepia or black and whites inside the book, but this is not. I'm sure there's. Oops, I'm going to cut that off. Copyright things that you couldn't do that. I mean, I probably could do it if I wanted to keep it myself, but not just not to sell the journal. Let's see. Oh, I'm just thinking, what time is it? So I forget what time I got. Oh, I came on a little later than I thought. Keisha's Market is starting up right about now. So if anybody, oh look, see, it's a little too, this one's a little too narrow. If I brought it up further, right under her chin, no matter how you slice it, it's a little, so I guess doesn't supposed to go with this doll. Let's see how I make out with her feet. I might have to pick out another dress. So let me tell you that Virtual Craft Vendors Market is now opening. That's on the Keisha's Creations channel. So if you want to get over there and join those gals, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm just going to probably fuss around some more with this and watch the sale. Look, see, I can't talk while I'm cutting. Oh, I really like that dress. I don't think there's anything I can do to... Maybe I shouldn't be so fussy. Oh, Carhartt is also on. I didn't realize that. Yep, sure. Carhartt is on. So there's lots to do today. I just wanted to pop on earlier while the tube was quiet. Let me get another doll video going. All right. right, so I think I'm going to fuss around a little more with this. Oh, I like this dress too. Isn't she sweet? See, and then I can make a pocket inside and put another outfit, so she would have two outfits. So the owner could, you know, dress her and change her out. All right, girls, I'm going to wrap this up so that if you'd like, you can go to either the virtual market or to Carhartt on YouTube. Again, thanks for hanging with me. And remember that this Friday, it starts in the early morning, Mary does Central Time. So I think it's like 6:30 Central it starts. So you want to make sure, if you can join us for the hop. And I will see you on the tube somewhere, ladies. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. And I'll see you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.